About 18 years in the Dallas Maverick organization. How does Cuban, he's owned the team for about the same amount of time, how does Cuban not know what's going on? You mean to tell me that he runs that team and they won a championship, played in 2 finals, and he had no idea in the last 18 years? I mean, remember, they played in the '06 final, and they won it there a couple years ago when LeBron went to Miami, more than a couple now. But, I mean, he's been there since 1999, 2000. You mean to tell me that Cuban, who's owned a team, probably what? Since I can look it up, but he bought the team from Donald Carter, who just passed away, by the way, in 2000. You mean to tell me that Cuban did a nice job there that 1 year, because when he won a championship, he brought Carter on the court, and he gave him, he had the trophy in his hands and everything else. But you mean to tell me in all that time period, in the last 18 years, he had nobody whispered in his headset, in his head, anywhere, or sent him an email or a text, we got a problem in the office? Not one person. On that, 18 years, not 2 months. The guy was there for 18 years, causing all sorts of grief. And Sports Illustrated writes this great expose yesterday at night, and the guy's fired in 5 minutes, and Mark Cuban had no idea what was going on. Jeez, come on. Here's what I would tell Mark. Get off the nobody cares about your TV shows, okay? Get off the television show and get that basketball team and that organization straightened out. That's what I would tell Mark Cuban. That's what I would make sure he do. Reinvest yourself in the culture of the team. They've been lousy forever. Reinvest yourself in the culture of the team. Get involved. Go to the games. I haven't even noticed if he's gone, but that's terrible. He's got to know that. Not 18 years. A couple years, I'll give you. Not 18. That's not right. Here's Chris in Philadelphia, and he's aboard. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Christopher, good afternoon. How are you today?
Hey, Dog, one thing on Cuban. I have a lot of respect prior to this on Cuban, because I really like the owners that kind of built their own fortune from nothing and then bought teams, as opposed to the owners who had it handed down to them or family money. And Cuban made his own, so I have respect for that.
I agree with that. That's a good point. Yeah. You're right about that.
But in this case, I got to crush him on this, because if you could find interviews all over the place with Cuban prior to this, when he says, I'm such a good owner because I'm on top of things. I know everything that's going on in my organization. I'm in the locker room. I know what's going on, hands-on. And then all of a sudden the first scandal hits, you're like, I had no idea about this. It's like, no, there's no way with all the stuff that was going on in that organization, you couldn't have had a whisper as to what's going on inside it. And this is where he comes off completely different.
The female employees wanted to hang around with the team in the locker rooms and on the court and everything else because they felt safer than they did in the offices. How in the world does he not get a clue in the last 18 years that this is the case? It is puzzling. Now, listen, you can blame the NBA too. This guy was the president of the CBA. You would think somebody would have informed the NBA that he was a hot potato, but Cuban specifically, who likes to, as you said, Chris, likes to have a hands-on reputation, but he's bouncing around. He's out there in California lots of times, in Southern Cal. He loves that. He's bouncing around left and right with those TV shows. Well, doesn't he do the Shark Tank? He does all those shows. He's got a lot to say politically, and he's got nothing to do here with this. I got a problem with it. I got to be honest with you. He should have known something. That's his job.
Now, let me ask you, Dog. Now, the question is that I think he deserves to get a hit for this, but, what's the end result of this? He's not Sterling. He's not like Jerry Richardson, who these allegations are actually, at least for now, nothing's been linked to him actually doing this. He may have played ignorance or ignored it.
No, he's not, Chris. He's not going to get in trouble. He's not. No, that's going to happen to him. He got the $600,000 fine, and this is one where he probably could have kept his mouth shut, but he happened to be right. 18 and 40. Why would they win? The NBA's got a major problem with this. They like to think they don't, but if you're the worst place to be in the NBA is Nowheresville. And Nowheresville in the NBA is like the 8th seed. Unless you're a team that, could make a logical step, got a couple of young players, and playing a playoff round is not a bad progress. Like at Denver, all right? Denver making the playoffs, got a young team, maybe winning a game, getting into the flow of what a playoff series is about. You could make an argument that that's a positive. But Dallas, there's no positive for Dallas, that's for sure. So he's saying everything is, Philadelphia tanked forever. The NBA never did a thing about Philadelphia, and Philadelphia did nothing but tank to get all those picks, including, Simmons and Fultz and all these. And they never played anybody. I mean, they basically, that was the idea of the OGM. I mean, they basically collapsed on purpose. And the NBA, I don't think, ever came down hard on them. But, when an owner says it, they're going to make a big deal. But Cuban, in this case, nothing's going to happen to him regarding the president of the team, or whatever the title was. He's going to be able to get around that. Here is Mike. He's in Pennsylvania, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Mike, good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm great. It's an honor to talk to you, Chris. I've been a big fan, listening to you my entire life, you and your old partner, so thanks for taking the call.
You got it, Mike. What's up now? Let me hear.
Barstool, the pizza review, I'm going to take a different take than your last call. I'm also a fan of theirs. I've become, and I'm a little older than that last gentleman that called, and I think they're doing the same thing you guys brought to the table. They're just bringing personality, and that's what people relate to. That's why people relate to you and Mike. You come at it with a personality, a little different shtick. You do the marquee, you do things like that. It's all fun, and I think you did a great job. I thought it was awesome.
I think there is personality radio is where it's about. You have to have personality to do this. This job's too hard without it. You got to have some personality, and that's important. And now, we use sports as our vehicle. I don't know if all these other outlets do the same, but that's what we did over the years. Here's Bill in Providence, Rhode Island. William, good afternoon. How are you today?
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
All right, Bill. Nice to talk to you. What's on your mind now? Let me hear. Fire away.
Quick thing. Did you get the D-Day lithograph that I sent you?
Yes, I did. Excellent job. I did. That was you, Bill. Yes, I got that. I sure did. Go ahead.
Get that blown up, and it'll look great on your wall.
Good job. That was nice of you to do that. I did get that.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Good.
What else?
I'm glad. The other quick thing was I didn't get a chance to call in during the Vietnam thing, but there were people calling in telling you that the veterans didn't get spit on and that type of thing when they came back. I work at a VA hospital, and I've seen probably over 1,000 veterans Vietnam. And I can't tell you the number that told me when they got off the plane, things were thrown at them, they were spat at, and they were told, go to the bathroom, put on civilian clothes, and get out of there. So remember the people were calling up telling you that.
No, the one guy said not true. You're 100% right. I mean, yes, terrible wrath at those soldiers. I was at the guys who fought. They didn't want to be there either. An absolute disgrace. Yeah, we did some of that. Go ahead. What else?
And if you want to get a good view of the class, the social class and the demographics involved, read that book, Working Class War. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, somebody sent me that book. I got another book at the Super Bowl about Vietnam. I forget the name of it. He dropped it off. I'm a little burned out on Vietnam right now. I shouldn't be, but I'm a little burned out by it. So we'll lay low on Vietnam for the moment. We'll lay low. 10 in front of the hour. Coming back, Mad Dog Unleashed.